Have you ever turned off the lights, put your phone down, closed your eyes, and suddenly your brain starts creating an entire movie? You imagine a conversation that never happened. You picture yourself becoming successful. You replay an argument and think about what you should have said. Maybe you imagine meeting someone, traveling somewhere, becoming rich, or living a completely different version of your life. And the strange part is, you know none of it is real. Yet for some reason, these imaginary scenarios feel incredibly real when you're lying in bed. You might even spend 30 minutes, an hour, or sometimes much longer inside a world that exists only in your imagination. So why does the brain do this? Is it simply overthinking? Is it loneliness? Is it escapism? Or is there something deeper happening psychologically? The answer is more interesting than you might think. When the outside world becomes quiet, your mind finally gets room to speak. During the day, your brain is constantly occupied. Work, school, conversations, notifications, responsibilities, traffic, social media, and hundreds of small decisions keep your attention focused outward. But when you lie down at night, most of those distractions disappear, and suddenly your attention turns inward. This is one reason nighttime can become the perfect environment for imagination. Your brain begins connecting memories, emotions, desires, fears, and possibilities, and from those pieces, it creates scenarios. Sometimes these scenarios are completely unrealistic. You might imagine giving the perfect response to someone who hurt you. You imagine them finally understanding your value. You imagine becoming successful and proving everyone wrong. You imagine meeting the person you've always wanted to meet. You imagine walking into a room and suddenly everyone respects you. These fantasies often reveal something important. They can show you what your emotional world is missing. For example, someone who constantly imagines being admired may secretly be craving recognition. Someone who imagines romantic conversations every night may be craving emotional connection. Someone who imagines winning arguments may be dealing with feelings of being misunderstood or powerless. And someone who repeatedly imagines a completely different life may be dissatisfied with their current reality. Your imagination isn't always random. Sometimes it's a psychological mirror. It shows you the things you don't openly say. There's another reason people create fake scenarios before sleep: control. Real life is unpredictable. You can't control what another person says. You can't control whether someone loves you. You can't control whether an opportunity works out. You can't control how people judge you. But inside your imagination, you control everything. You can choose the words. You can choose the outcome. You can make the other person understand you. You can become confident. You can finally say everything you couldn't say in real life. For a few minutes, your mind creates a world where uncertainty disappears. And psychologically, that can feel comforting. This is why some people don't simply imagine random stories. They repeatedly return to the same scenario, the same person, the same conversations, the same fantasy, the same ending. Because the brain is sometimes trying to emotionally complete something that reality never completed. Maybe you never got an apology. Maybe you never got closure. Maybe someone walked away without knowing how deeply they affected you. So, your mind creates the conversation you wish had happened. You don't necessarily want the person back. You may simply want the emotional ending you never received. And there's a fascinating connection between imagination and identity. The person you imagine yourself becoming can reveal the person you want to be. Think about it. When you're lying in bed imagining your future, what version of yourself appears? Are you confident, successful, independent, loved, respected, fearless? Your imaginary self may represent your ideal self, the version of you that exists beyond your current limitations, and sometimes imagining that person is your brain's way of rehearsing a possible future. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, imagination can be useful. Athletes mentally rehearse performances. Public speakers imagine themselves delivering speeches. Entrepreneurs visualize success. People prepare for difficult conversations in their heads. The brain can use imagination as a form of simulation. But there's a difference between imagining the future and escaping into an imaginary world because reality feels unbearable. That's where things can become unhealthy. If your imaginary world becomes more enjoyable than your real life, you may start spending too much emotional energy there. You might constantly create scenarios instead of taking action. Instead of having the difficult conversation, you imagine it. Instead of pursuing the goal, you fantasize about achieving it. Instead of building relationships, you imagine being loved. And slowly, imagination can become a substitute for experience. This is why the question isn't simply, why do I imagine fake scenarios? The more important question is, what am I getting from these scenarios that I'm not getting from real life? Maybe it's attention. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's control. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's excitement. Maybe it's closure. Or maybe it's simply peace. And that answer can tell you a lot about yourself. There's also something comforting about nighttime fantasies because nobody is watching. During the day, you have to maintain an image. You might need to act confident even when you're insecure. You might need to pretend you're okay. You might need to behave professionally. You might need to hide your emotions. But at night, when you're alone, your imagination has no audience. You can be whoever you want. You can say whatever you want. You can create the life you've always wanted. And for a few moments, you don't have to perform for anyone. That's why some people actually look forward to going to bed, not because they're tired, but because nighttime gives them access to a private world where they feel emotionally free. But here's the most important part. Don't judge yourself simply because you imagine things. Having an active imagination doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. The human brain naturally creates stories. The real issue is whether your imagination helps you understand your life or helps you avoid living it. If your imaginary scenarios inspire you, reveal your goals, help you process emotions, or prepare you for real situations, they can be useful. But if you spend hours every night escaping into fantasies and wake up feeling disappointed that reality isn't like your imagination, that's something worth paying attention to. Your fantasies may be telling you where your real life needs attention. Maybe you keep imagining success because you need a goal. Maybe you keep imagining love because you need connection. Maybe you keep imagining revenge because you're carrying unresolved anger. Maybe you keep imagining a completely different life because something about your current life needs to change. Your imagination may not be the enemy. It may actually be the messenger. So, tonight, when you close your eyes and your mind starts creating another story, don't immediately try to stop it. Instead, ask yourself one simple question. Why this scenario? Because sometimes the story playing inside your head isn't really about the people, places, or events you're imagining. It's about you. It's about what you want, what you fear, what you miss, what you never said. And perhaps most importantly, the life you secretly wish you were living. Your mind may create fake scenarios before sleep, but the emotions behind those scenarios are often very real. And once you understand those emotions, you may discover something powerful. You don't always need to escape into a better imaginary life. Sometimes, you simply need to start building a better real one.